All right, let's do this. So today we're going to talk about progesterone cost analysis for you guys. So if you're worried that it's not a good investment for your business, I'm going to break it down for you. So we have the progesterone machine right here, which is $2,750. You will need test kits for the progesterone machine. We'll talk about that in a minute. And if you don't have anything, like if you don't have a centrifuge, an auto pipette, needles, if you don't have anything to draw blood or spin it down, you will need all of this stuff. So the starting kit is $3,149, and that does have free shipping. These don't have free shipping, but I don't imagine it being more than, $100 or something, depending on gas prices. So let's break this down. So the number of dogs you have in your program, if you only have 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs, 5 dogs, we're going to evaluate exactly when you're going to break even on the cost or when you'll start making money of the machine. So the reason I got into my own progesterone testing, it was super hard to get into a clinic. The scheduling was just never convenient. If it was a Saturday or a Sunday, we couldn't get in, so you're going to miss a breeding window there. And so there's so much opportunity when you have it all in-house. A lot of arguments you're going to hear are people like, oh, well, this test machine isn't good. But I've literally ran hundreds and hundreds of tests, and you can watch my other YouTube video to see how many tests we've ran. And it's working. So let's check out. So if we break this down by litter sizes, and then let's break it down by progesterone test. Oops. Sorry, let me fix that for you guys. Here we go. All right, so for every 1 dog, you're going to be running about 2 tests for each litter. Sometimes you're going to get lucky and get away with just 1 test. Sometimes you're going to be running 3 or 4 tests. But I like to test my dogs on about day 7 or 8 to see where they are in their cycle. And then from that number, test 1 more time. And usually you can get it pretty close. But sometimes they can stall, and you're going to actually have to test like 3 or 4. So if we do that, this one would be 4. This one would be, 6. And this would be 8. And this would be 10. So basically, if they have 1 litter, you're at 2 tests. If they have 2 litters, you're at 4 tests. If they have 3 litters, you're at 6 tests. You're adding 2 tests every single time. So then you're going to break it down how many dogs are in your actual program. So I'm going to make that a lot easier on everybody so you don't have to watch me do all the math. So here you go. If you have more dogs on this, you can continue the math down. But that's how many tests you're going to be running in the life cycle of your dog. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to break down the cost of a progesterone service, which we find it to be about $70 where we live. It's probably right around there for you, maybe a little bit more. The Woundfo test kit is $90 right here, you can see. And there's 10 in a kit. So you're about $9 per test kit. So your cost savings is about $61 if you do it. So you're only paying $9 versus $70. So if we do the math on that, we're going to run some formulas here. Watch, it will just magically appear. Bing! There you go. Then we're going to do a cost breakdown of how many litters you guys have. So in a litter, we are going to basically take $61 that you're going to save. We're going to times it by 2 because that's how many tests you're going to run in your first litter. And so we're going to do the math for you here. We'll say equals $61 times 2 tests. That would be $122 of savings for each litter. So if we do that math, you're going to start seeing some crazy numbers here. Bam! Just like that. So if you buy the progesterone machine, you're going to start breaking even on your cost right around this yellow line here. If you buy the test kit, you'll start breaking cost right around this line here. So if you have 5 dogs in your program, you will literally break even and be completely paid off on your machine. If you have, as you get more and more dogs in your program, that's when you start breaking that savings cost. But we're going to also run over some crazy other numbers. So another thing too is you'll actually earn way more money by hitting your timing, getting your litters down right. You're going to have more puppies per litter if you really understand when they're ovulating on time. You'll save a ton of money on missing by saying, oh, she's in a split heat versus she's ready to breed right now. So just keep in mind, like, this is just evaluating the price of progesterone. So if we add in some of those other costs, let's do that now. So a progesterone cost is usually $70. Let's say it costs you $15 in gas to get to your clinic and back. It's going to save you about $20 of your time. You're probably worth more than that, but I just put it really low. And then your vet evaluation is usually $70. That's what it is in Utah. So I'm going to divide it by 2 because we're going off of 2 progesterone tests. So your total would be about $140 for every single progesterone test you run if you go to a clinic. So if we switch the 70 to 140, you're going to break even if you only own 3 dogs. Does that make sense? So now if your clinic's way more expensive and we had to add $30 more right here, let's say your price is $100 of progesterone. So we put 170 here, you're going to break even with 2 dogs. Let's say it's cheaper at 60, we can put 130 here, you're going to break even at 3 dogs still. Let's say it takes you forever to get there, you're 2 hours away from a clinic. Your vet is the only repro vet where you live and it costs you $80 in gas to get there, $70 progesterone fee. Now you're at $205. So you can see the potential earnings even only at $70. But I would say most of the time you're right around $140 per vet visit, because that's the vet eval divided into it. And who knows if you stop for food or Diet Coke or whatever on the way. So it really, really adds up. If you guys do everything in-house, you're going to see a lot better results. You're going to get the numbers immediately. You can have the stud right there close by. Saturdays and Sundays aren't an issue anymore. You don't have to worry about scheduling. Because what we find a lot is people get into the vet and let's say day 9 you go in for a test and then all of a sudden she needs to breed the next day or she needs to do another test in 3 days. They're saying, oh, well, it's booked up in 3 days. We can't do another test for you. So it really helps you save a ton of money and your sanity 100%. Another thing too is litter size, like we mentioned. It's going to be so much better to track your numbers because with this machine there's a whole bunch of data in here that you can extract. So I really encourage you to watch our other YouTube video about how to set it up, what the machine looks like, how to run it. But all in, $3,149 is a pretty good price. It comes with 10 tests already. Once you run out of those, you'll order more tests from us. We'll have a whole bunch of them on stock. We can overnight them to you if it's an emergency, but most likely That's really all you need to know. So hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully the breakdown helps you make that decision whether it's worth it or not, for sure. Peace.